Alright guys, we are back to work on the Bonneville. Hopefully we'll be able to get it finished today. I mean, we had made some awesome progress yesterday, so he got some cheap Walmart oil. We got a new big old oil catch. This is huge. Like, yeah, the other one I have is really old and gross, and it's not as big.
Got some bolts for the oil pan and for
cool.
the exhaust manifold.
Yep. Because we had to reuse some studs, I think. Where was this? Yeah, we had to reuse some
This is
bolts.
one of the oil pan bolts. I'm using bolts to keep these in because I have no clips.
Well, we have retainers. We can actually replace those today. But yeah, it is much clearer out today, so we won't be needing to set up a redneck tarp.
Maybe we'll see.
Jury rig.
We'll see if it rains.
Side of the car is actually really wet. I might dry it so we're not like sitting over all this the wet fenders.
Down too.
Yep. So we're gonna drain the oil first because it has water in it. We'll see actually how much water is really in it. Hopefully not a lot. I'm hoping there's no significant amount of water in there, and it was just from the what's it called? From when we poured the water from the lower intake manifold, like it spilled by accident.
Yeah.
And then, did you get any answers to the gaskets? Like, did you ask anybody?
So, I didn't get any good answers on why the gaskets aren't sealing, but I got pretty much everyone told me that these blocked off coolant passages, that's normal.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I expect it to be kind of normal, but, like, it's just weird design.
On even different renditions of that motor.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know why the hell that's like that, but apparently they're all like that.
Well, there we go. And then I guess it's still up to deciding if we're going to RTV the gasket in some particular areas where it has those ridges.
Yeah.
We might, but we'll just see.
Really not sure, so no one tells me that they RTV it like that, so just really don't know.
Yeah, it's like we could do it and it might add, some more protection, or it could be bad and like not make it seal right.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, really taking off everything to get to them is not that hard, especially if we're using just paper gaskets, so it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
If it doesn't seal right, we can just take it out and then redo it, but it just sucks how many times we've had to do this over and over and again.
Yeah, if we put RTV on the gasket surface too, we'll probably want to wait for it to give it almost a whole day to dry before we start the car, because that could compromise it too, I can imagine. Yeah,
I've been reading on the Department of Boost Facebook page, and there's a RTV, the Permatex Right Stuff, and that sets in 1 minute.
Really?
And they say it's the best RTV.
Oh, well, maybe we should get some of that instead.
I'm thinking about going to the auto store and see if they have it.
Huh, okay.
Found it online, but it's supposedly hardcore stuff.
Good to know.
Yeah, and it's the max oil resistant, water resistant. It's just people use it on their intercooler systems. People use it with a bunch of other stuff. So
okay.
Yep.
That sounds pretty good then. That sounds like if we were to use that stuff on the supercharger and the intercooler, it would just never come off.
Yeah, that's actually what
sounds like.
They recommend for the thermostat. Like I was telling you how water gets under the thermostat in my Mustang. They use the right stuff, and that seals it in the intercooler system. So it's touching, or not intercooler, that's just the engine coolant system, yeah. This thing's massive. It might not show it well on camera, but it's really big.
Yeah, 24 quarts, which is cool. There we go.
Let's watch how much water comes out of this thing.
Alright, let me pull up my sleeve.
Has anyone ever successfully removed a drain pan bolt without getting
oil all over them? Nope. Not in history.
The strat is to pull the bolt out as you're unthreading it, so it pulls away from it. But still, you're probably going to get a drop on you.
Oh, I'm going to get more than a drop on me, I bet. The oil should come out first, though. Okay. Oh, that's water.
That's straight water.
Yeah, that's water. Oh, okay.
It's a bit milkshakey.
That's not good.
So, we have the engine on, pushing. It looks like the battery might be dying because it's, really not pushing hard anymore. But it was going pretty fast with the intercooler pump. We set it on paper towel here, dried it up first, and so far we've not seen any leaks at all.
Move a little bit. You can kind of see it in the sun when the sun... Here, move just a little bit, Davis. Yeah, you can kind of see how fast it goes.
It's still moving pretty fast.
That's like the only time is like you can see just the little bubbles in the sun. That's the really only time you can see how fast it goes, because it's really hard to see.
But yeah, if we lift up the intercooler here, it's perfectly dry.
So yeah, that's basically our leak test of what we're doing now.
And this has been going on for like 5 minutes.
So we're not seeing any leaks so far. We're noticing that, like, even though that this is RTV sealed,
this one is weeping a little bit.
This one's weeping a little bit when he had it positioned in a certain way, but it doesn't seem to be doing it so much with it sitting down like how it would normally be. And you know, it's not really leaking now, but that wouldn't be our problem anyways. And I didn't really notice too much loss of coolant.
Yeah,
at all anyways.
It's not going to be significant.
So definitely not our problem, but I'm gonna have it run for like another 5 minutes just to for sure check that this isn't my problem. Though I can already tell that, you know, however much water is in the oil is not from that.
Yep.
Already we can tell. So yep, we're just probably while that runs a little bit, we're gonna start on getting the engine mount off.
Spider already made a web.
Oh my goodness, Spider, what the hell? What the hell? Where are you at? Where are you at? Come out. All right, so we'll come back when we got a little bit more progress and getting the engine mount off, and then we're gonna start with taking the accessories off. We've already decided we gotta take you know, this whole tensioner, alternator off, heater bypass. You know, gotta take that all off. Gonna take the water pulley and then the water pump off. And
from there we should be good.
Yep, we should be good. I don't think we'll have to remove anything else besides the timing cover.
The only other thing we might need to remove is the oil filler neck, but that's a maybe. We don't know yet.
Yeah, we'll see. And yeah,
not oil filler neck, the oil filter neck.
Oh yeah, but that should be coming off with the timing cover. Be, yeah. But it might get in the way. We just, you know, you never know until you.
There's enough room.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I can't really get a good angle, but we'll definitely figure it out once we're in there.
All right, guys, we're gonna head to the parts store. We just need a couple things. Tristan has gotten the pulley off for the water pump. He's just working on getting that off as well. We're running into just a tiny bit of a snag, but we've had
this exact problem putting it on, I'm sure.
So you can see the motor mount comes up here. This bolt on there is literally being blocked on the right side. I cannot get a socket on. The socket is too thick and just cannot get on the bolt head. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a 12.17 mil, which are a bit thinner wall, and we might even shave it down if we need to. And then we're going to buy a replacement bolt. So this is one of the lower ones. Buy a replacement Allen head. So all we need to do is get an Allen or maybe a Torx head or whatever, you know, just get a replacement for that. And then also we want to get a fitting for the engine. We're going to put a breather PCV system in it. So this will just go in the side of the valve cover. We'll have a bolt thread on the other side to secure it, and then that'll just relieve crankcase pressure. It'll just vent to atmosphere, and they're just good for boosted systems. And then also, what was else? We were gonna get some other, like a 3/8 extension for the ratchet.
Oh yeah, and then 3/8, just like a double prong for the transmission lines, because we're gonna cut them. We're gonna cut them to fit better.
Yeah.
Then we're gonna put them, you know, right back together. Like,
and then we also Permatex right stuff. We need to get.
Oh yeah, okay.
So we got
a list.
Yeah, we'll go to Park Rose. We'll get the tools we need, and yeah, we'll be back. We're very close to getting the front cover off, honestly. Like, once we have the water pump off and then the heater bypass off, then it's just a couple bolts on the front. It'll be super easy. So yeah, we'll be back. All right, guys, we're back. It started raining again. It was just really light, and then it got heavier. So we just thought we'd throw up the tarp real fast. Again. Hopefully it'll pass soon. I might get another bungee cord just to hold it up better. But anyways, yeah, we're back. We got the front cover, or the motor mount off. That bolt that I mentioned that was up there, we just used a short 17. This was just small enough to bite it, and then once it bit it and broke it loose and came out far enough, it was able to fit on perfectly. We did use our big brain, and we got a replacement. Where'd that go? Use our big brain. We got a Allen head that will fit it. We'll just have to cut it to length because it is a bit bigger, or this might work, I'm not sure. Then we got some fittings for the transmission, and then we got this 1/2 inch for a breather, actually. So we're planning on taking the valve cover off seeing where we can place it, because a breather would help with crankcase pressure. When you have too much, it's like, you know, not good for it. So, yeah, we got that going. We'll just take the valve cover off. Anyways, yep, so now that we have the motor mount out of the way, we're going to work on just removing it. Look how much space we have, you know. Now we've seen remove the bypass with the alternator on it. You might want to disconnect your battery before you take this off.
All right.
Because you might hurt yourself. But otherwise, we're very close to taking the front cover off and being able to readjust the balance shaft. We also get our chicky sandwiches.
Yeah.
Always got to get the
break time with chicky sandwiches.
We always got to get the chicken sandwich. We also bought new bolts too, or no, we had new bolts to replace. If you guys remember, there's like water jackets that have bolts behind them. It's the dumbest design ever. So we got the legit bolts for them that we'll be able to plug them with. All right, guys. Also got the nipple on there, 1/2 inch, for the breather. You can see right there. We checked the cylinder head to make sure it wouldn't obstruct with anything. You can see how much room we have right here. So that won't interfere at all. And now we have a 1/2 inch breather for it that will be able to vent to atmosphere. It'll just make the engine run a bit happier.
My God.
More bad news. We had a we had to like stab the oil filter with the screwdriver because we couldn't take it off. But man, look at this shit. It was literally just pouring so much. Like if I separate it like this, you can kind of see some green in there. It's literally just coolant.
We did have some coolant in this bucket before.
True. Very true.
But most of this is the milk chocolate.
Like, I mean, that's how the filter came off. You can see how milky that is.
And that's all what came out into the oil pan too.
Yep.
But I really hope my bearings are gonna be, you know, workable.
Literally, we need to like pour oil through the system with the drain bolt out. Literally, like take everything down with it, and then run it with some oil for like a day. I would say do an oil change. Don't do it a week. Give it like a day, maybe less.
That Chevron oil,
yeah.
5 quarts for $12. It's super cheap. So I think that I'm gonna maybe put like a whole one of those in it with the drain plug in, and then like get everything good.
Yep.
And then drain plug out and let it all drain, and then maybe run it on that second set of like 4 quarts.
Also, we did remove the lower intake manifold last night. It did dump coolant in there. There was whatever coolant that might have still been in there, and then it was left overnight until today, so that could have been part of it. It might have been cleaner yesterday.
Well, it wouldn't have mixed.
Yeah, oh, that's true.
It would have sat on top of the oil.
Would have separated. Yeah, that's true.
And 2 weeks ago, I took my front valve cover off. I showed Davis. There was nacho cheese on the back of the valve cover. I cleaned all that off, and there was none of that chocolate milk down like on the valves, like on the back of the valves, on the rockers. I didn't really see that. But then when we took it out today, clearly it's everywhere. There is that oil
everywhere in the engine.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know.
It literally needs to be circulated through with the oil pump. Like it needs to get cleaned out.
2 weeks ago when I checked this, I checked the dipstick and there was normal oil down there. There was no normal oil left. It was mixed, and that has to be from my drive from here to there.
Yep, just from
my
Tristan's
house to your
house.
house.
Yep. But yeah, I mean, we're just gonna
leak that much water into the engine between then and then.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to proceed with it how it is. Also, while Tristan was working on that, like I showed you guys, I had the nipple there, and then I had the spare catch can. So just 1/2 inch catch can, all bolted on. It's a breather system. Pretty easy to set up. But yeah, he is getting that stuff off. Here, let me move this out of the way so you don't like knock it over. I always hate having to put a screwdriver through the oil filter to get it out. It's so annoying.
But his oil filter wrench was broken, and so we just did that as a quick fix because we couldn't get it off. Oh, looks like the front cover is moving. So
oh yeah, there's the front cover's moving right there.
It
we're so close to.
Still wait. Not sure if that bolt is that one bolt has a coolant passage behind it is what's keeping it there, or if it's just sealed. Not sure yet.
Oh, you know what? It might actually be. I don't know.
I really hope it's not.
Well, let's get a tiny pry bar. Is that all the bolts off the front?
As far as I know.
And you took the ones off the oil pan at the bottom?
Yep. Does it feel like there's a bolt holding it still?
Might be. It does kind of feel like there is, but maybe probably at the bottom.
Gotcha.
Do it evenly. Yeah, it's coming off. Cool.
Are you grabbing onto it?
Yeah.
Oh, hang on.
I'm holding
My
it.
fingers are right here, so don't bash them.
Bash him.
No.
Slam it.
Slam it.
Floor it.
Floor it.
Floor it. All right, guys, we got the engine at top dead center with the timing marks. As you can see, it's kind of hard to see. There is a the dot on top and bottom for the cam and the crank. Tristan is undoing the crank bolt by hand here. It's about ready to come out.
There we go.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh.
What the fuck?
Gross.
And we need to undo the tensioner as well.
Nice.
All right, now it can come off. Yeah, here. Grab the oil pump. The oil pump here, yeah.
Oh. Okay, there we go.
Leave that on there, yeah. And there we are. Look at that. There's the dot right there. You see?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the dot right
Oh,
there.
wow, that's way off.
Yep.
That's even more off than it looked like on the video.
Yeah, it was like 130 degrees. And then we just rotate this boy like that.
And then we put this back there.
As far as I know, let's not just assume this is the correct way of doing it, but let's put this on and yeah, there you go. Push it on. Pull it off again. Pull it off a little bit. Pull it off a little bit. There you go. Okay. It looks like pretty on to me.
It does look right on. Yeah? That's as close as that's gonna get.
And literally, guys, that's all this is all about. Getting this back on like
Now,
that.
I can already see we're gonna have a fucking hell of a time getting this gasket off. We almost might
Yeah, we'll take that off.
this thing off. So
That's just like a splash shield for the oil, I think.
heck, let's just take this off completely. So
No, don't take it out if you.
Well, we might bump it. Like, we might. It'll be fine. All right. Might get in the way.
Up to you. Either way works.
We'll see. What do you think that is? A 12?
Yeah.
Okay.
12 or 13.
Might have a 12 down here. Or
So, guys, we're going to take this off, just clean up the surface, get it ready for the new gasket, prepare the front cover, and then this is literally all the farthest down tear down we needed for this job. Now we can just reassemble now.
12? Okay. This is the most amount of progress we've made, like, this quickly with any of our engines in the car.
Yeah.
I would say. This is the most progress we've ever made.
See, imagine if we were doing a cam swap, we would not have any room there.
Nope,
That's why you'd lower
it.
it.
The separator would have to be dropped.
Like 6
and
inches.
Even then, the angle would be extreme.
Yep.
Like, it would have to have quite the angle.
But, yeah, we got it. So I'm going to do some research just to make sure that's how it's supposed to be timed.
Okay.
But to me, that looks like it's right because they're literally top on
I will work in getting that guide off.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, we're going to be back. And
Also,
yeah, there's
that black mark. You want to do some research to see if that has to be with the timing mark? I mean, I don't.
It's the chain, so it doesn't really matter, right?
Can't see why it would.
Yeah. And we can flip the chain so it's next to the dot, wherever that is. Yeah, the dot right there, so it rides on it.
Yeah.
I guess it's
there's
just
a little bit of damage right there.
It's better.
Oh no,
no, it's not.
It off.
Yeah, I bet that's just a visual, so you know where the dot is. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and continue with this, and we will be back. All right, guys, we got the timing chain and everything back on. We got the cam gear torqued on. Again, the splash shield back on, and then we'll be able to put the front cover back on, and then tighten down some bolts. Another thing, we had those back when we were originally rebuilding it. There were some bolt holes that if you didn't have a bolt in there coolant would come out, and turns out one of them is like this one. That's one where we had to try tapping it. But the bolt we had didn't go all the way through, and there's a hole in the block as well, so that could also be another place where it was pushing water through potentially. So we have this new bolt that works, that comes out a little bit farther, so that should thread in, and we'll be able to actually access them because we have so much room in the front now. It won't be a hassle to try to get stuff in there. And we have this new gasket type, which is different than the one we have. The other one was like paper with like metal on the inside. This thing, you can hear it. Sounds metal.
Sounds like metal, but doesn't it feel like metal?
Yeah, so
hopefully Felpro will come in clutch, because
smush it a little bit. We can also put some black RTV on it where we need it. Water and
not
oil
sure
resistant.
where we need it.
Yeah.
But people told us that we did it wrong and then should have used RTV and a gasket. Have no freaking clue where.
I think the only places we need it is around the water jacket. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and continue with this. It is dark out. It's not that late. It's only like 6 maybe.
Yeah, it's like
5:20. So, yep, our goal is just to get the front cover back on, because once we have the front cover on, all we'll need to do is put the accessories and the intake and supercharger on, and we can give it a test.
Yeah. Also, before we end up putting the supercharger back on intercooler limb, we'll want to take the rear valve cover off, clean it, and then pour oil in it.
Yeah.
Let it drip down. Same with this one. But we want to do that before we put all that shit back on, because it's going to be way easier to take that thing on or off with it everything off like that.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, once we have that on, we're just going to snake the front cover on down over there, and then, yeah, get it bolted on with all the bolts. But we're looking pretty good. It's all in time. The balance shaft's timed.
Yeah, I think that we can just put some RTV along these the coolant channels, like you said, and then we'll pop the gasket on. It will stay.
Yep.
And then we can put the front cover back on. We had I don't know if we actually had to do this, but we ended up taking the water pump off to snake it out, and we're using that newer design. I reckon anyone who has an L67, L36 for an upgrade.
One sec. Yeah, definitely. It's a much better design.
But yeah, anyone with one of these engines, this pump will work for any series motor. I think you have 2 or 3. So.
It's on the Project F spreadsheet. I'll get the part number.
It's also only like 20 or 30 bucks.
It was $14 at the time we bought it.
Oh wow! It's the same price as a normal one, so you
Just
might as well
better.
buy a better one.
Yep.
Instead of the like stamped steel frickin' shitty ass one.
Yep. Got the tensioner on. Got everything on there. Got this all smooth and dry.
All right.
So we're gonna go ahead and get the stuff.
Wipe it off one more time, and then we'll put some RTV to it.
Yep. All right, guys. So I think we're gonna be done for today. We got the front cover on officially. Let's get around here. Yep.
Got all the bolts in.
All bolted on down here. Got it all bolted up and torqued down properly. So what we did is we got some RTV and lightly put a coat on both sides, so on the timing cover side and the engine side, and then put the gasket on, just a light coating just to hold it on,
so it's not a bead,
and to seal it. Hopefully it seals it better. And then also those 2 water jacket ports on the block. I guess it's not necessarily a water jacket port, it just goes through the water pump and into the engine block. And the one that we had threaded in there didn't go all the way through, and the other one could have not gone all the way through either. But we have the right bolts this time, and we RTV'd them so they go all the way through in the block with RTV. So hopefully there should be no leaks through that. That could have been another way it was leaking through into the timing cover.
So for tomorrow, the plan will be to, first thing, take the oil pan off, clean it out, put it back,
If we can.
Put all new bolts in it, and then engine mount, and then I think what I'm gonna do is just remove the alternator from the car, valve covers both off, flush it with oil down both of them, hopefully it doesn't pool or anything, and then also put a bunch of oil in here, let it drip down, and then
Get all the water out, hopefully.
get all the water out, then drain the oil, put new oil in.
Another thing you can do is once we've flushed it and we have our first like oil that we're going to run for like a day, run it all the way up to operating temperature. Once the engine is up to operating temperature, it'll start evaporating any extra water that might be in there, and make sure it gets operating temperature, so it'll like don't let it not get up to operating temperature when you turn it on.
And I think that it's actually good that we're stopping because, or at least, I mean...
We gotta let the RTV set.
Yeah, RTV will get a chance to set. Even though it's cold, it'll give it, like,
24 hours, or more, not 24 hours, over 12
20
hours.
almost,
Yeah.
Assuming that we get this thing running in, at 2 o'clock.
Yep.
And so then we'll be able to put everything down. I got a few things of gasket for the intercooler and for the lower intake manifold.
That stuff's disgusting. I already smell it.
Oh my god, I can smell it.
We also got this stuff at Park Rose, which is high density gasket maker. It says don't exceed 350 degrees, but should be fine.
It says it's resistant to water and oil. That's exactly what this said as well. This stuff I got from AutoZone, it freaking smells like someone shat on it.
Yeah, it really smells like
smell
poop.
it from here. It's bad.
It's so bad.
I wouldn't use that stuff just because of how it smells.
Got to reinstall the pulley and then start putting the lower intake manifold supercharger back on.
And also, me and Davis decided that we're going to take the exhaust off on another day. I've got the next several days off, so I think that
we're just going to remove the exhaust there. Not
in some days, not tomorrow. And that'll give me a chance to, when we take it off, I'm going to scrub it with either some Scotch-Brite or some wire.
Dude, sneak it into your work and sandblast it.
And it needs it. It's disgusting though. I'm not gonna drive around with that and be smelling that. If I'm not kidding, you guys, it is horrible.
It smells really bad. Yeah.
I don't know what the hell went wrong with it. I think that the primer is what went wrong. I think the primer wasn't high temp.
Yeah.
And then because we primered it and then painted it with the high temp paint, and so the fumes get into the cabin while driving, and it's bad. So. But
yeah, we got the balance shaft back together. We're now in just putting it back together. We're done tearing it down. Now it's putting it back together. So we made some quick work of this, I would say. Yeah, we did make some quick work. That timing cover gave us, not really a run for our money, but it gave us some trouble. Yeah. But I'm glad that we ended up putting the right bolt back into that one that we threaded and sealed into the timing cover. Mm-hmm. Now, the reason that we did it like that is because the threads were fucked up behind the one. I think that the threads in the timing cover were messed up, not the ones in the block. Mm-hmm. And what I did is I tried to tap it and put the threads, back to normal. Literally, he tapped the cover and not... Yeah, I never got that far. We didn't get that far into the block because we have the timing cover and then the block. And the block is what has the threads in. So we just timed the cover. And our new bolt fit perfectly in it. Yep. Whereas, I think that the other bolt we had in there, it was working, but then it was kind of losing its grip near the end. So. Also used red Loctite, which is, not great sealer. Yeah, I would never use... It held the water, but it could have been pushing into the timing cover. I think we also used RTV, didn't we? No, it wasn't on the bolt. No RTV. So yeah, red RTV, I have learned, not a great thing to be using because normally it seals so good you have to heat it up to remove it, so I wouldn't use that again. Yep. But we got some answers only on these... This being perfectly normal. This is on all of them, apparently, is what my... Yeah, we talked about that at the beginning, I think. Oh, okay, good. Yeah, several friends told me that even on an L36... Well, actually, no, L36 wouldn't have this metal cover. On their L67s and also the Series 3 Supercharged engines, they're like that. So, that's normal, I guess. No idea why. Yep, so I think that's going to do it. We are very close to being done. We're definitely finishing it tomorrow. For sure. If not, it's going to be put back together tomorrow. There's no way about it, I don't think. I mean, I don't think there's any way it won't run. Yep. So, yeah, we made some good progress. Hopefully, we fixed any type of water issues with it, and then definitely the vibrations, because the balance shaft was off by 130 degrees. It was way off. It was more off than it looked like in the video. Yep. In the video, it looked like it was just 6 teeth off, but it was, all the way to, 11 o'clock.